Hello and welcome back to this tutorial series. It is Introduction to Photoshop, and over the next two videos I'll be talking about selections, and in doing so I'll be showing you the selection tools and also the pen tools. So I'll be introducing you to tools used for selection and the pen tool, which is used for more than selection, but it's a great way to do selection too. So let's jump right into it. I'm gonna create let's just leave the landscape, right? Let's just do that. Let's just leave this landscape. So to make selections, first I think it's good to import a picture. Let's bring in a picture. We're gonna bring in linked. Go back to our images folder. By the way, I got most of these images from Splash and using an Android app called Splash, so something like that. So you can get that too, or you can just come up with some of your own images or something like that. How you doing? So left to you. So let's bring in this guy. The picture is sharp and nice. Okay, so I told you how to use this before. Holding Shift and Alt, dragging on the edge, and there. You know what? For this, we're not gonna do that. Okay, so selection. It's so important in Photoshop that it even has its own menu. That tells you just how important it is. So the first selection tool I'm going to introduce us to is here. The rectangular selection tool. We have the elliptical selection tool. We have the rectangular selection. You know what? In this tutorial series, I'm going to be introducing this tool. You can kind of just use it on your own, play with it, discover what it is for. Like, what magic does that do? Like, you know. But for now, why would you want to select anything at all? Well, some of the scenarios where you're going to need selection is you have a picture and you don't need all of that picture, you just need a portion of it, then selection will be good in that scenario. And yeah, you know what, oftentimes when we make selections, it's because we're trying to like use it on a picture or something. But there are other scenarios where you can make a selection. Say you've created a layer and you don't want to fill the entire layer with objects. Say you don't want to fill the entire layer with a color or something, or a gradient, but you just want to fill a portion, you know, with gradient or with color. Then you can make a selection of a portion of a layer and then just do what you want to do. Okay, so for this guy, let's just select a part of him, you know, maybe just like some sort of passport of him. Of course, this will not work as passport anywhere. I don't think so, because we're not getting a second here. But you know, just for now, let's just say we're selecting this portion. So what I've done with my rectangular marquee tool is to make sure that, let me just, you know what, undo that. By the way, now that we're here, I might as well just say, when you have a selection this way, the way to remove it, say you don't want the selection anymore, you want to remove it, the way to do that is to hold Control on your keyboard and press D. See it that way. Or let me just undo that. Or you come here to selection and say deselect. You can see it also says Control D. So I don't know what's wrong with my mouse right now. So just say deselect, and there you are. For you to make a selection, you need to be on, or shall I just say whatever layer you're on is what you'll be selecting. So if I place my mouse on this background layer and I do this, even though it looks as though I'm selecting the picture, I'm not really selecting this guy's layer. I'm just selecting that back layer, that white layer, which is locked, and right now I can't really do that selection. So I have to make sure that I'm on this layer and then I can do the selection. And in doing this now, I'm going to introduce you to a few things. We're going to be doing it with the shortcut, but before that, let me just come into layer, just select OK. You know what, let's just do that from layers. Okay, so I can easily create a new layer, but to do, and that I'm going to say new layer from, I'm just going to say new layer. Okay, no, that's not what I want to do. Actually, I wanted to show you where I could do it without okay, layer via copy. Look at this. Okay, layer via copy, Ctrl J. If I do that, and now I can hide this original layer of the picture just by coming here to this this icon with an eye, and just deselecting that, and you can see I have a new layer called layer 1, and I have my selection, that rectangle that I created earlier. I just have it. So that's a selection, and I've achieved it by using the rectangular marquee tool. So I'm gonna hide this selection and go back to my original layer, and I'm gonna come select in my toolbar here, or my tools anyway, and select the elliptical marquee tool. Now I can draw an ellipse this way. That's good, but I could hold shift to make it a better ellipse. You know what, I'm going to remove that by pressing Ctrl D on my keyboard and then just doing that again. And just the same way, I can come here to layers and say new layer, layer via copy, but I want us to get familiar with using shortcuts. Now there's a problem here. Right now I'm on layer 1, which is even hidden. So if I try to do anything now, I'm just wasting my time. I'm not going to be doing what I want to do. So I need to be on this layer. I cannot overemphasize that, or shall I say, I cannot stress that enough. You must be on the layer you're trying to select. Else it's a mess. So I'm just going to hold my control on my keyboard and press J. Now I've done it, but you can see it. To see it, I just need to deselect this original layer so that you can see what I've done there. See, voila, it's beautiful. So there, I've made a selection with my rectangular marquee tool. So far we've used the rectangular marquee tool, and we've used the elliptical marquee tool, or just the ellipse marquee tool. Yeah, there, elliptical, ellipse. Okay, good. So the next thing I want to show us is this next set of tools right below the elliptical marquee tool, right below the marquee tool. So we can just say this group of tools are called the marquee tools, and then we have this next group of tools right below it, at least in my own Photoshop. Here's a lasso tool. The lasso tool helps you to draw an area, just like freehand drawing. Make sure you come back to where you started, and like that, it selects. And then going back to my picture, making sure that I'm on that layer, I can press Ctrl J, hide that original layer, and I see what I've drawn out. See? So the lasso tool just kind of give you a free hand drawing tool to select. By the way, I can make selection of selection. So if I draw another free hand here, just try to trace his face, something. Maybe just trace out his skin. I did this design one time where I just pick out the skin of people from pictures, and I leave the clothes, and I just say dress up, you know, something like that. See, I didn't do that well, but I wanted you to see what happens if you didn't go back to the original spot. Photoshop tried to compensate for you. So I can do that if I press Ctrl J and I hide the lower layer. See what I get right there. So so that's to let you know that when I make copy of a layer, maybe a picture layer, I can still make copy of that copy because it's just a layer. Okay, you can always just make copy of copies. So that's that. The next thing, I'm gonna go back to that same set of group of tools, and I'm gonna choose the Polygonal Lasso tool. And what this helps you do is it helps you draw it like, you know, lines, straight lines. Unlike the Lasso tool, which gives you a free hand form of it, here you can just kind of draw like lines and just draw lines. But you can only draw straight lines. That's it. That's the difference between this tool and the previous tool I introduced you to. You can only just draw straight lines. I'm just gonna come out here, do this, and do this, and do this. I'm just gonna pick the portion of his body that is dark. Okay, with the headphone, we may as well leave the headphone in there. Sorry, I'm talking like that. You probably didn't hear anything I was saying the other time. I wasn't saying much anyway. I just wanted to show you this. Probably fast forward this portion of the video anyway. So, by the way, you can Control Shift. You can undo. Sorry, Control Alt Z helps you undo something. I don't know. Wow, Control Z doesn't work again. That's just sweet. Okay, so going back to my original layer, if I press Ctrl J, sorry, not Ctrl A. See what I did? Sweet artwork there. $1 million artwork. Okay, so that's that. That's how you use the Polygonal Lasso tool. Nothing to it. Now here's this beautiful one. This one is a magnetic lasso tool. You kind of just, it traces. I'm not clicking right now, so that's what I want you to understand about the magnetic lasso tool. You don't have to click. See, I messed that up now. You don't have to click. You just need to click your starting point, and then you just move your mouse. I'm not clicking right now. I'm just moving my mouse, and Photoshop is intelligently selecting for me. How cool is that? I don't have to click. Photoshop is just making the selection for me. Of course, it's not perfect, but there are times when you just need this. You know, you just need to make a quick selection, and voila. Okay, I think I messed that up. Sorry, I'm gonna go back to this. Oh, problem now is I'm unable to locate my original point. I'm gonna undo all of that. Okay, so let's start again. You see, the important thing with all this, with selection tools generally, is you must be able to look at where you started from. Yes, you gonna create a beautiful mess, and that's not what you're trying to do, are you? Is it? Okay, so I'm not clicking right now. I'm just moving my mouse. How cool is that? Oh wow, you just won't let me do that with you. Now I need to be able to look at my original point. And the thing is, notice when you get back to where you're coming from, you get that little circle added to your original icon. Look at this, no circle, now circle, no circle, now circle. So once you get that small dot, you know you're back to where you started, and you can click and you can go to your original layer and just press Ctrl J. Look at that. We clicked once. Okay. We clicked twice. Okay, we clicked twice, and we made that. We just click and we just move that mouse all around and back to the original point and click again. I mean, that is good. That is good. Photoshop is wonderful, man. You can beat that. Okay, so let me look at this video so far. If we're not getting to, we're not getting to log. Good. That means I can show you the pen tool all in one video. I never thought I would be able to do that in one video. You know what? Let's just stop this video here so that I can show you the pen tool in an entire video of its own in the next one, of course. And you're gonna love the pen tool. Yeah, there's a lot to show there. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial all about selection in Photoshop and what you can do with all this selection. Here's one here. We did that. You know what? Maybe I should have just named this. I mean, this is marquee, rectangular marquee. This is elliptical marquee. This is Lasso 2, this is Polygonal Lasso 2, and this is Magnetic Lasso 2. Beautiful, beautiful work. Okay, so my name is Alexander. Like this video if you really like it, and please subscribe to my channel here at Ceylon. I'm open to constructive criticism and English. Wow. Okay, so till next time, see you. Peace.